Monday, the 22nd of August, 2022. The fateful day in which Saints Row died. I am so disappointed with the Saints Row reboot. You might be noticing that I am not playing the reboot, I'm playing Saints Row 4 right now. Well, that is because I was going to wait until all the reviews were in and really gauge my own opinion for the game and whether or not I should get it or not. And I was waiting till all the reviewers on YouTube that I trusted were going to make the review, and one of my most trusted reviewers that I like to watch. I don't really watch him regularly, but I watch him when a game of my interest has also piqued his interest. Mr. Matty Plays. So imagine my absolute disappointed when I wake up to find a video saying that Saints Row is buggy and creatively bankrupt. And do you know how ironic this is? Do you know how ironic that is? I literally did a live stream finishing up Saints Row Get Out of Hell yesterday, and I said that when Saints Row games come out, yes, they have a few issues with staying stable, as in, like, sometimes you just have random errors and the game just shuts down, like with Saints Row 4, for example, as rare as that might be. That is pretty much the extent of your issues. Sometimes you might get stuck in a wall in Saints Row 4, because you might get completely blown into one by a superpower and then you just can't get out of it. But that's pretty much the extent of the bug. So imagine my surprise when I find out that Saints Row, the new reboot, is completely and utterly buggy, and the story is creatively bankrupt. Now, listen. Creatively bankrupt, as much as I dislike or like to critique the story of Saints Row the Third, creatively bankrupt is not something you would describe that game, even though it is the worst and least focused story in the Saints Row franchise. Saints Row 4, as crazy as it is a pretty focused story. So imagine my surprise when the new Saints Row turns out to not be any of those things. I wanted to give that game a chance. I was so excited for that game. So excited, because I love Saints Row. I played Saints Row for the first time around this time last year when I got Saints Row the Third remastered. Instantly fell in love with it. I played a few hours of Saints Row 2, even though I know the entire story of the first two games. I've watched all the cutscenes for both of them. And Saints Row 4, you guys know my opinion on Saints Row 4. It's my favourite Saints Row. I love Saints Row 4. It's one of my favourite games ever. So I was looking forward to the reboot. I was ignoring all of these people who were saying that Saints Row had gone woke, because honestly, I don't care about that crap. I think if you still care about the whole woke agenda thing in 2022, off yourself, please. As toxic as that sounds, like, why are we still caring about how other people want to identify or certain things that they believe in? Like, why are we gatekeeping genders in 2022? Why are we gatekeeping equality, you know? I'm not going to turn this political, because fact of the matter is, Saints Row never claimed to be political, even down to this reboot. I think the marketing was a bit off, but everything that I had seen, I was interested in. And I saw the story trailer, I think a week ago, and I thought it was pretty cool. There was even some callbacks to, some subtle, some not, to the original Saints Rows, including Saints Row 2. Like, where the guy falls into the grave, and that reminds me of the Johnny Gat whole, you know, get up thing. And then you got the Saints Row Julia speech that was in the next few games. I was genuinely excited for this game. And I've watched about 4 reviews that kind of resound the same opinion. Not just opinion, judging from the gameplay that I've seen, fact. Like, it's buggy, it's broken, and it doesn't really seem to be offering up anything new in terms of Saints Row, to the point that old Saints Row fans are going to be laughing so much, saying, oh, I was right the whole time, it's because they went woke, when that's really not the reason. But I fucking hate how those people now have an excuse to make more videos just like that. Like, we got to laugh at those kind of people when The Last of Us Part 2 turned out to be a pretty darn good game, but with this one, they're actually getting the win, and they're now going to have more people join that fucking agenda, because now people are going to blame the fact that Saints Row is so bad on that, at least in terms of the story. They're going to blame it on that without even having played the game. And I know how hypocritical that sounds, because I haven't played the game. But I'm now scared from ever doing it, because even Mr. Matty Plays, a guy who, from my perspective, has been pretty open-minded, even in games that are not his thing, he has said that this could be good for a certain type of person. This guy has straight up told you to avoid the game. Like a rating of don't touch, bro. Do you know how bad that is? This is a guy who annually comes back to Fallout 76. That's how bad it is. Cyberpunk 2077, as buggy and a mess as that game was, at least it had a good fucking story. You know? Saints Row has neither of any good points that I've said. You know, it's creatively bankrupt, as Mr. Matty Plays has described it, which means the story isn't good, you know? You don't have to have a fully focused story to be a good game. Saints Row the Third is a prime example of that. The story is so unfocused in that game. And I just don't understand what happened, bro. How do you go from Saints Row 4... Like, I understand how you'd go from Saints Row 2 to Saints Row the 3rd and 4. Like, I understood that. It was pretty understandable. They didn't want to be compared to GTA anymore. Cool. But how the fuck do you go to a game as crazy but still focused as Saints Row 4? How do you go from that to the Saints Row reboot? We thought Get Out of Hell was the lowest point of the franchise. Even if that story, as small as it was still pretty focused. The story was focused, the gameplay, the game worked. Get Out of Hell worked. It crashed once for me on stream. That's fine. At least it worked. Get Out of Hell was a functioning game. It worked. So this reboot doesn't even have that. I'm so heartbroken, kind of. You know, I'm heartbroken by this. This is a game I was looking forward to, and now I'm, you know, what's going to happen with the franchise now? You know? For a lot of people, this was make or break. You know? How far are you going to be able to go after Saints Row 4? They can't. They can't have gone any further, so they rebooted the franchise. So, not only were Saints Row 1 and 2 fans afraid, but Saints Row fans in general were afraid, but still looking forward to this reboot. Where does Saints Row go from here? Where does it go? Who the fuck is going to buy Saints Row now when all these reviews are coming in saying the story was bad, that the game was fucking buggy? How do you delay a game twice and still come out buggy? I don't understand it. You don't have a greedy ass AAA company like Activision or EA or whatever. You don't have that excuse. You've had years upon years. You announced that you were making this game as far back in as 2019. How do you make a game that... Also, the graphics aren't even that good. Saints Row the 3rd Remastered looks better than this. I don't understand the thought process. I don't understand the developmental process. I don't understand how you could fuck this up. You could have, like, story aside, how is this game buggy? How is this game being described as more of a checklist than actual fun? You have taken not only the original Saints Row identity from the first two games, but you have also taken the evolved Saints Row identity from the last two games, and you've created this buggy mess that seems as though it's not even a parody of those old games. It's not even... like, you could say it's even derivative. How is Saints Row gotten this low? I do not understand it. And actually, this was a game I was looking forward to for ages. I played last week all the Saints Row DLCs that I missed out on for the 3rd and 4th, including Get Out of Hell, just before this, just to... I voiced my excitement, but also I was cautiously optimistic because I wanted to see if the game was any good. And this is exactly what I was fearing. This is not something I wanted to wake up to. I don't understand this generation in gaming where we are continuously getting broken games. You know, games that are just not good enough and are being rushed out the door. Bro, back in the day of the old Grand Theft Autos, these games came out polished, bro. Even with mechanics that were just completely just stupid to work with, like the shooting mechanics of Grand Theft Auto in 3, Vice City and San Andreas. They were just a chore to work with. And you can't say they could have done better. They couldn't have done better because Red Dead Revolver exists, which is another Rockstar game, which has amazing shooting mechanics, you know? So, and then Saints Row comes out and it has better shooting mechanics. Even those games, they came out polished every year. They weren't broken when they came out. But I don't know what it is. Since the PS3 came out, we have been having these games that are just straight up fucking broken, bro. Straight up fucking broken. And they're just clearly not ready. Games like Cyberpunk, games like Fallout, games like this, Saints Row. I just don't get it. I do not get it at all. And again, like I said earlier, where does Saints Row as a franchise go from here? Where can it go? You know? Not even a remaster of Saints Row 2 could save this franchise at this point, I don't think. I think it's done. I think it's over. Volition are over. This is their third fucking failure in a row, by the way. Get Out of Hell, a failure. Agents of Mayhem, who the only Saints Row fans ever talk about that game. And now this. That's 3 failures in a row. There is something wrong at Volition. And there's something wrong with Saints Row now. Where do we go from here? Saints Row's fucking dead. That's where we go from here. Saints Row is dead. It's done. It's over. You know? No amount of patches are going to save this game now, you know? You could completely patch up this game, but the fact of the matter is, from what I've seen and from what reviewers have said and shown with their gameplay, the game isn't that fun to begin with. And the story is stupid just to be stupid. At least there were parts of Saints Row the Third where you could root for the heroes and you can see the concept and where they wanted to go with it. And Saints Row 4, like I said, was a focused story and it was a nice send-off. But my god, how do you fuck up a reboot? You had all the creativity and freedom in the world. How the fuck do you fuck up a reboot? I do not get it. I don't get it. Even if the game's buggy, like Need for Speed 2015, for example, at least showed that you're passionate. Where's the fucking passion in these games, bro? I don't get it. It's not something I wanted to wake up to today. I'm sick of waking up to games I'm looking forward to just disappointing me. Just turning out to be so disappointing before I even think of buying the game. And now people are just going to forget about this game, and people are going to forget about Saints Row. Saints Row's dead. It's done. It's done. It's a game that is going to stay in the past now. That's it. That's it. There's nothing they can do. What are you going to do? Remaster Saints Row 2? Remaster Saints Row 4? 1? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe remaster Saints Row 1 and go from there. But I don't know. They're not going to do that ever. Apparently they say they don't even have the code to it. I think the fact of the matter is they don't care about Saints Row anymore. Because I mean this must have been made as a cash grab or something. I think eventually I'll buy it, but I'll have to wait till it goes on sale because I'm not going. I don't plan spending any more than £15 on this game, quite frankly. So I'm gonna wait till it goes on sale or becomes free on PlayStation Plus. But the fact of the matter is, I'm so fucking disappointed, and Saints Row as a franchise is in utter fucking jeopardy. People were speculating if this reboot goes bad, then Saints Row as a franchise is in a horrible position. It was already in a horrible position, in my opinion. This is the third failure in a row for Saints Row and for Volition. And I think we've just got to lay this franchise to rest. If you aren't going to do this franchise justice, whether it's for the Saints Row 1 and 2 style or the Saints Row 3 and 4 style, if you ain't gonna do either or any part of Saints Row's universe justice, fuck off, Volition. Fuck off. We don't want you making these games anymore. Stop. You're tarnishing the Saints Row legacy. I'm so disappointed. I don't think I'll ever touch this game unless it goes pretty cheap on sale. I'm just so disappointed. And I'm glad I didn't have to waste my money on it. And I'm sorry to those of y'all who have wasted your money on it and had to play through that game. I'm so sorry. I'm so disappointed. And I didn't even play the game. I don't even know how you guys feel. I don't know. I got nothing else to say. That's about it. Peace. God damn it.